In this video, I'd like to talk about the concept of perimeter. And the simple definition for perimeter is that it's the distance around a two-dimensional shape. So it could be the distance around, let's say, a rectangle or maybe a triangle. Now, a circle is a little bit different. The perimeter around a circle, we have a different word for that. In fact, we actually call that the circumference. But for most two-dimensional shapes, the length around the outside is known as the perimeter. So common applications of perimeter could be maybe you have some yard and you want to figure out how much fencing to put around the edge. Or maybe you have a porch and you want to put up Christmas lights and you need to figure out how long the wires need to be to cover the entire porch. So perimeter shows up anytime you're looking at the length around the edge of something in two dimensions. So let's look at some simple examples. We'll just use these. Let's say we have a rectangle where maybe it has a width or a length, it doesn't matter which you call which, of 10 feet. And let's say the other side length is 7 feet. Now, if we want to figure out the length around the outside, we first of all need to figure out the other two side lengths. So remember in rectangles that opposite sides are equal. So this would also be 10 feet and this will also be 7 feet. So the perimeter of this rectangle, which we can call P, is just the sum of all of these side lengths. We're just going to add all these together. Remember, sum just means addition. So we'll take our 10 feet, then we'll add 7 feet, then we'll add this 10 feet, and we'll add this 7 feet. So 10 plus 7, that's 17, plus 10 more, that's 27, plus 7 more from that, we get 34 total feet. So if this was our yard, if we had a yard that was 7 feet wide and 10 feet long, the length of fence we would need to go the entire length around the yard would have to be 34 feet long. So that's for a rectangle. Let's say now we're looking at this triangle, and let's say this is 6 meters, this is 8 meters, and this is 9 meters. Then the perimeter of this, we just add these together. So 6 meters plus 9 meters plus 8 meters. So 6 plus 9, that's 15, plus 8 more, that would give us 23 meters. And for a circle, the main difference is that we don't use perimeter. So we can say that the perimeter of a circle, we have a special word for that. We call that the circumference of a circle. So the length around a circle is what we know as the circumference. And this is a little bit more difficult to figure out. You would need to know the diameter or the radius of the circle. So diameter is the length of the circle across going through the center. And let's just say it's 10 meters. The circumference of this has a more difficult formula. It's pi, which is the circle number, that 3.14159, multiplied by the diameter. So this would be pi multiplied by 10. And if you really want, you can approximate this since pi is roughly 3.14. Okay, it's exactly equal to 3.14159, and it's going to go on forever. It's an irrational number, so it has an infinitely long decimal expansion without a pattern, but we can approximate it as 3.14. So our circumference, this perimeter of our circle, is 3.14 times 10, which would be 31.4 meters, since our unit here is meters. So with circular shapes, you need to be a little bit more careful, but if you have something that's more like a polygon or composed of polygons, then you're just adding up the length around it. And of course, we could be talking about any type of two-dimensional shape. So let me show just one more complicated example. So let's say we have this shape here, and I've labeled all of the different side lengths. So to find the perimeter of this, we're just going to add up all of these side lengths, and in this case, our unit is centimeters. So I'm just going to write it without the centimeters, but we can assume that each of these lengths is centimeters. So it's going to be 11 centimeters plus 10 plus 9 plus 6. Let me make just a bit more room here. And we can add 8, 7, and 4. So plus 8 plus 7 and plus 4. So adding these together, we have 21 plus 9, that's 30. 36, this is 15 together. So 36 plus 15, that's 51. Plus 4 gives us 55. And again, our unit is centimeters. So the total perimeter of this strange shape is 55 centimeters. So remember the general idea when finding the perimeter, just add up the length around the outside of whatever your two-dimensional shape is.